for my to-be-born grandson's birthday, baby shower. And oh my goodness, my topic this week is being easily pleased. And you've never seen such a pile of baby stuff. Honestly. There were 3 high-class spa bathtubs, backpacks, front packs, strollers, car seats, little beds for being in the bed with the mom and the dad, hats, mittens, socks, clothes that were designer inspired.
Yoga mats.
Could be. I've never seen anything like it. And I'm not criticizing, I'm not judging, because I was a willing participant in all of that. And I was oohing and awing just like everyone else. And the other part of that is, what do we really need? You know? We need mother's milk and perhaps a sling and I don't know, people used to sleep in shoe boxes, put their diapers. That's about sums it all up. And do we really need diapers? I mean, there are places in the country in the world that don't have diapers. We've just come to the place that our expectations and our sense of need is so overwhelming and so powerful. And so that's what I really want to talk with you about today. Socrates said, contentment is natural wealth, and luxury is artificial poverty. So we feel as though to be rich, we need more and more and more, because we feel as though we don't have enough. There's some sort of lack. And of course, the lack is within. Once more, my dear Mark Napo has this to say. This is what caused me to think about talking about that, about being easily pleased. Mark Napo says, so many of us have been trained to think that being particular about what we want is indicative of good taste, and not being satisfied unless our preferences are met is a sign of worldliness and sophistication. I remember being at a party where a woman wouldn't accept her drink unless it was made with a certain brand of vermouth. She was, in fact, indignant about it. Or going to dinner with a colleague who had to have his steak prepared in a complex and special way, as if this particular need to be different was his specific public signature. Or watching very intelligent men and women inscribe their circle of loneliness with criteria for companionship that no one could meet. I used to maintain such a standard of excellence around the sort of art I found accessible. Often this kind of discernment is seen as having high standards, when actuality it is only a means of isolating ourselves from being touched by life, while rationalizing that we are more special than those who can't meet our very demanding standards. The devastating truth is that excellence can't hold you in the night. And, as I learned when I was ill, being demanding or sophisticated won't help you survive. A person dying of thirst doesn't ask if the water has chlorine or if it was gathered in the foothills of France. Yes, to be accepting of life that comes our way does not mean denying its difficulties and disappointments. Rather, it means that joy can be found, even in hardship, not by demanding that we be treated as special at every turn, but through accepting the demand of the sacred, that we treat everything that comes our way as special. So, to me, that's very powerful. So I'm talking today about living peacefully with a life of contentment. And so what does that mean to be living simply and living contentedly? What can we do to accomplish that? Well, the first thing that we need to do is to analyze our life, to see where in our life we are being fulfilled. What is it that we really feel is imperative for a high quality of life? For me, it's spirituality. But the thing about it is that we do not know when we're content unless we analyze it and determine that place that causes our contentment. And as I said, spirituality is my place of contentment. But there are so many things in life that can cause us aggravation and discord that are unnecessary to us. For instance, driving in traffic can be so discordant and cause us so much stress and strife. Well, do we have to do that? We have alternatives. We can leave earlier, we can leave later, or we can use that time to be in contemplative appreciation. So just taking a look at life, taking a look at your life, and seeing exactly where you choose to put your attention, what you choose to fill your life with, and recognizing and acknowledging that it doesn't have to be a whole lot. That often the luxuries that we have in our life, the backpacks, the strollers, the blah, 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 all of the stuff that we have in our life is very stress producing because we got to maintain it. We have to work at maintaining it. And the more simple our home is, the more simple our life is, the less maintenance that's required, and the more space that we have for contentment and peace and ease. So just taking a look, at our lives and deciding where we want to spend our time. So there's a movement for using time, double tasking, triple tasking. And so one suggestion for simplicity is to single task. Do one thing at a time and do it as fully and richly and with total attention as you possibly can manage. If you're washing the dishes, wash the dishes. If you're making the bed, make the bed. Doing whatever you're doing with total attention, which will certainly help with contentment. Thich Nhat Hanh said, whatever the task, do them slowly with ease and mindfulness. Do not do any task with a goal of getting it over with. Resolve to perform each job in a relaxed way with all of your attention. So when you do less each day and allow time between tasks and allow extra time, then the possibility for contentment and ease is expansive. It allows you to be in the moment and appreciate your life deeply and richly rather than rushing through and getting everything done to maintain your life, which is so full that you don't have time to appreciate your life. It gets to be a cycle of doing rather than being in the moment, being with your spiritual connection, being who you are, being with people that you love, being in the doing of what is meaningful for you, just taking breaths of contentment, allowing yourself to enjoy your life, allowing yourself to be peaceful and content, doing single tasks. And then sprinkling your life with things that give you pleasure. Planning in those moments of pleasure. Planning in the time to notice how your bare feet feel on the grass, or how fresh mowed grass smells. Or if you're gardening, how the soil feels in your hand. Watching the little sprouts grow and bloom. Just being aware of the simple things, the quiet things, the peaceful things, the joy-filled things. When we look over our lives, it's rarely the big events that remind us of pleasure and joy. It's often the very small, minuscule recognitions of the way spirit shows up. I have done a lot of hypnosis for people, and when I say to them, go to the place where you felt the most content and the happiest, it is invariably a time of solitude, being in nature, noticing the unity of self with the one, being on top of a mountain and seeing the vast expanse of life beneath, around, surrounded by. It's remembering as a child walking in the woods, or remembering as a child seeing a snail walk across the garden. Always, invariably, the places of contentment and joy, peace and harmony are solitude times of being alone with the one. And however way that an individual chooses to define it. It's very rarely the moments of grand accomplishment. It's very rarely the moment of being in some sort of connection with other people. It's the quiet solitude of the harmony with the one that invariably is the time for peace, the time for joy, the time for contentment. There's a quote by Lao Tzu that I like to share with you too. It's called Simplicity. He says, I have just 3 things to teach: simplicity, patience, compassion. These are your greatest treasures. Simple in action and in thoughts, you return to the source of being. Simple in action and thoughts, you return to the source of being. So just allowing ourselves to remember that contentment lies within and with connection with the one. Not the cacophony of fights, boxing matches, not the Kentucky Derby, not those times of that we promote in our media and promote in our culture, but rather times of solitude and quiet, times of peace and harmony, just being, taking the time to allow yourself a deep breath of oneness with the one. Taking the time to, if not meditate, at least be still. We talked about the interruption experts and how it takes 25 minutes to recover from a telephone call. So allowing yourself the luxury of disconnecting the phone, the luxury of turning your cell phone off, the luxury of turning the TV off, the luxury of driving slowly, walking slowly, just noticing that place of contentment where you and the divine are in harmony and in peace. So that's what I would bless you with this week. I would call to you to examine your life and see where there is conflict or stress or discord in any way, and think about ways that you can eliminate that. Think about ways that you can allow yourself to be in harmony and be in peace, in solitude, and in contentment. So I wish you all a week of that kind of quiet, sweet peace. I love each one of you. Namaste. So I would invite the practitioners to join with me and hold the consciousness. So, I allow myself to acknowledge that there is one power, one presence, one divine unifying force and source that is all there is, that I call God. I allow myself to settle into the contentment of living with the awareness of that one. I allow myself the contentment of acknowledging the peace and the harmony that comes with that connection with all that is. I allow myself to plan and design my life so that it is filled with moments of gentle solitude, gentle awareness, gentle peace. I allow myself the contentment of well-being. Noticing where I am perhaps at discord with that sense of well-being. And planning around it, planning to deal with it, planning to heal it. So that I live and move and have my being in the deep, rich connection of the divine. I gain my contentment from Source. I gain my peace from allowing space to be. I'm so deeply grateful for the power of these teachings. So deeply grateful for the understanding of my connection with the One. I am so grateful for the celebration of good that is my choice to make. I give thanks for it all. I claim it as good. I declare it done. And I invite you to join with me as we say together, and so it is.